My beloved child. Tonight is not an accident, and this message is not reaching you by chance. There is a reason your eyes stopped here, a reason your breath slowed for a second, and a reason your heart felt a strange pull the moment you read this title. Something that has been moving quietly in the background of your life is now stepping closer, but it cannot arrive loudly. It must arrive in silence, in secrecy, and in perfect timing. Your soulmate is coming to meet you, and the universe has placed a seal over this moment. Not to hide it from you, but to protect it from interference. Right now, there are forces, people, and energies around you that would misunderstand this connection if they knew too early. That is why this meeting will feel subtle at first. Almost invisible. A look that lingers too long. A conversation that feels strangely familiar. A presence that calms you without explanation. This is not fantasy. This is alignment. And alignment always begins quietly before it changes everything. Listen carefully, because what I am about to reveal is rarely spoken. Your soulmate has already felt you. Not in a physical way, but in moments when they suddenly felt restless for no reason, when their thoughts drifted toward a future they could not explain, when they sensed that someone important existed somewhere but remained unnamed. That was you. This connection was written long before your current struggles, long before your disappointments, and long before the lessons that hardened your heart. The delay you experienced in love was not rejection. It was preparation. If this meeting had happened earlier, it would have broken under the weight of who you were back then. You needed to grow into the version of yourself that could recognize this bond without fear. And they needed the same transformation. That is why the universe kept you apart, watching, shaping, refining, until both of you could stand in the same moment without destroying what was meant to last. Now understand this carefully. This meeting must stay a secret because it will not look dramatic at first. There will be no grand announcement. No obvious sign for others to applaud. In fact, if you speak too much about it too early, doubt will enter. Opinions will interfere. Noise will distort the purity of what is unfolding. Your soulmate is coming during a phase when your life appears ordinary from the outside, but internally, you are standing at a threshold. That is intentional. True connections do not arrive during chaos. They arrive just after the storm, when you have learned silence, patience, and self-respect. This person will mirror back the parts of you that you finally accepted, not the parts you were trying to escape. That is why the first feeling will not be excitement. It will be recognition. A calm, grounding certainty that feels older than this lifetime. There is something else you must know, and this is where most people miss the sign. The secrecy is not about hiding love. It is about allowing truth to reveal itself slowly. Your soulmate is stepping into your life while carrying their own unspoken history. They have been through a loss, a disappointment, or a betrayal that taught them caution. When you meet, both of you will instinctively protect the connection by keeping it private. Not because you are afraid, but because you both sense its value. Precious things are never displayed before they are secured. During this phase, you may feel an urge to withdraw slightly from social noise, to observe more than you speak, to feel more than you explain. That instinct is correct. Follow it. This is how the bond strengthens without pressure. This is how destiny avoids unnecessary damage. Finally, remember this. When your soulmate comes closer, your life will not instantly change on the surface, but something inside you will lock into place. A question you carried for years will quietly disappear. A restlessness you normalized will fade. You will feel less need to prove, chase, or explain yourself. That is the sign. Not intensity. Not obsession. Peace. And peace is powerful. Guard this moment. Not with fear, but with awareness. Because once this connection fully reveals itself, there will be no need for secrecy anymore. Until then, let silence do its work. Let timing unfold naturally. And let your heart stay open but steady, because what is coming is real, rare, and closer than you think. Before you even realize it, subtle shifts will begin around you. Small coincidences will stack on top of each other so perfectly that logic will fail to explain them. You may find yourself visiting a place you normally would not, replying to a message you would usually ignore, or pausing for a moment longer than necessary. These are not random actions. These are gentle corrections made by destiny. Your soulmate's path is being adjusted at the same time, step by step, breath by breath. Neither of you will feel rushed. Neither of you will feel forced. Instead, there will be a strange sense of inevitability, as if something unseen is guiding both of you through narrow corridors toward the same door. The reason this feels quiet is because loud signs are meant for fragile things. What is coming to you is strong enough to arrive without noise. Pay attention now, because this part matters more than you think. Your soulmate will not enter your life as someone who tries to impress you. They will not overwhelm you with charm or dramatic gestures. Their power lies in familiarity. From the very first exchange, words will flow without effort, silences will feel comfortable, and your guard will lower without resistance. This is how you will know. Not through excitement, but through ease. You will notice that you do not feel the need to perform or protect yourself. Your nervous system will relax. Your mind will slow down. This connection will not demand energy from you. It will return energy to you. That is why secrecy is essential at this stage. The moment you allow external opinions to touch this fragile beginning, the natural rhythm could be disrupted. This bond needs space to breathe before it learns how to stand in the open. There is a deeper reason the universe insists on privacy, and few ever understand it. This connection is meant to transform both of you, not just emotionally, but internally. When your soulmate arrives, unresolved patterns will surface. Old fears will whisper. Past disappointments will test your patience. This is not a sign of failure. It is proof that the connection is authentic. Real bonds expose what must be healed. But if too many voices surround you during this phase, you may mistake growth for danger. Silence allows clarity. Silence allows truth to reveal itself without distortion. During this time, you may feel pulled toward introspection, reflection, and emotional honesty. Do not resist it. This is how you prepare yourself to receive something lasting, not temporary comfort. Understand this clearly and hold it close. Your soulmate is not coming to complete you. They are coming to walk beside you. The loneliness you felt before was not because you were missing someone. It was because you were becoming someone. That process is nearly complete now. When this person steps into your world, they will recognize your strength immediately, just as you will recognize theirs. This mutual recognition creates balance. There will be no chasing, no confusion, no power struggle. Instead, there will be a quiet agreement between souls that have waited long enough to meet correctly. This is why timing matters more than desire. And this is why patience has been your greatest test. As this chapter begins to unfold, you may notice one final sign. The urge to rush will disappear. You will feel no pressure to define, label, or announce anything. You will simply experience. Moment by moment. Conversation by conversation. Presence by presence. That calm confidence is your confirmation. Your soulmate is not approaching your life as a storm. They are arriving as a certainty. Slowly. Steadily. With intention. Let the secret remain sacred a little longer. What is forming now is not meant to be rushed into daylight. It is meant to root deeply first. And once it does, nothing will be able to shake it. Something important is happening beneath the surface now, even if your daily life looks unchanged. The universe is testing your awareness, not your patience. You are being observed, not judged, but measured for readiness. This phase feels quiet on purpose, because noise would distract you from the signals meant only for you. Your soulmate is already within reach of your energetic field, close enough for emotions to echo before words ever do. That is why you may feel sudden moments of emotional clarity, followed by brief waves of nostalgia or unexplained calm. These are not memories from the past. These are emotional previews of what is aligning. The connection is sinking first on a soul level, because when it finally appears in physical form, recognition must be instant and undeniable. Here is what most people never realize until it is too late. When a soulmate approaches, distractions also increase. Old connections may resurface. Familiar patterns may try to pull you backward. Temptations that once held power may knock again. This is not coincidence. This is contrast. The universe is showing you what no longer fits, so you do not confuse comfort with destiny. If something suddenly feels heavy, forced, or draining, that is your sign. Your soulmate does not arrive with confusion. They arrive with clarity. Anything that creates emotional noise right now is being exposed so you can release it without regret. This clearing is essential, because a divided heart cannot recognize truth when it stands directly in front of it. Now listen carefully to this part, because it is rarely spoken aloud. Your soulmate is also feeling this tension. They are standing at a similar crossroads, questioning old choices, re-evaluating priorities, and sensing that something significant is near. They may not have words for it, but the feeling is strong enough to change their behavior. They are becoming more selective, more intentional, more protective of their energy. This is why the meeting must remain subtle at first. Two souls sharpening their awareness do not need an audience. They need alignment. When you finally interact, the conversation may seem ordinary to anyone watching, but beneath every word will be a quiet recognition that something important has begun. There will be a moment, small but powerful, when you realize this connection is different. It may happen during silence rather than speech. A pause that feels meaningful. A look that communicates more than explanation ever could. In that moment, your intuition will speak clearly, without fear or doubt. You will not question whether this is real. You will question why you ever settled for less before. That realization will not come with excitement. It will come with grounding. A sense of being exactly where you are meant to be. That is how soul recognition works. It stabilizes rather than overwhelms. And once felt, it cannot be forgotten. From this point onward, your responsibility is simple but powerful. Do not rush. Do not explain. Do not seek validation. Allow the connection to unfold at its natural pace. Trust the silence. Trust the timing. Trust the calm certainty growing inside you. The secrecy is not a restriction. It is a protection. What is forming between you and your soulmate is meant to last beyond moments, beyond phases, beyond circumstances. Let it grow roots before it reaches for light. Because when the time comes for this connection to be seen, it will not need approval. Its strength will speak for itself. There is a quiet turning point approaching, and it will arrive without warning. One ordinary moment will suddenly feel heavier than the rest, as if time slows just enough for you to notice it. This is when awareness sharpens. You will realize that you are no longer searching, no longer questioning, no longer waiting in the same way. Something inside you has shifted permanently. Your soulmate's presence, even before full closeness, will change how you see everything else. What once felt important will lose urgency. What once demanded attention will feel distant. This is the effect of alignment. When something real draws near, illusions lose their grip automatically. At this stage, restraint becomes your greatest strength. You may feel an urge to move faster, to define what you are sensing, to reach for certainty too soon. Resist that impulse. The bond unfolding between you is precise, not impatient. It follows an internal rhythm that cannot be rushed without consequences. This is why secrecy still matters. Not because something is fragile, but because it is forming structure. Like a foundation being set underground, unseen but essential. Every quiet interaction, every unspoken understanding, every shared pause is adding stability to something that is meant to endure pressure later. You will also notice a subtle change in how others interact with you. Some people may feel slightly out of sync with your energy now. Conversations may feel shorter. Certain environments may feel uncomfortable without a clear reason. This is not isolation. This is refinement. Your frequency is adjusting to make room for a connection that operates at a deeper level. Your soulmate exists in that same frequency. That is why when you are near each other, even briefly, there is no friction. No need to explain. No need to impress. Just presence. And presence, when shared between two aligned souls, is powerful enough to reshape futures. Here is the truth that transforms everything once you see it. Your soulmate is not entering your life to create drama, intensity, or emotional highs. They are entering to bring stability, clarity, and quiet confidence. That may sound subtle, but it is rare. Most connections burn bright and fade quickly. This one warms slowly and lasts. That is why the universe insists on patience. Anything built to last must first learn how to exist without attention, without validation, without noise. What you are experiencing now is not delay. It is calibration. Soon, very soon, the secrecy will begin to lift naturally. Not because you force it, but because the connection will become strong enough to stand openly. Until then, remain grounded. Remain observant. Let actions speak louder than explanations. Let silence deepen trust. You are not missing anything. You are arriving exactly on time. And when the moment comes for this connection to fully reveal itself, you will understand why every step before this had to unfold exactly the way it did. A realization is about to settle into you with quiet certainty, and once it does, nothing will feel the same again. You will understand that this connection was never meant to rescue you from loneliness, but to meet you at the point where you no longer feared being alone. That is the exact moment soulmates recognize each other. Not in desperation, but in wholeness. When your soulmate draws closer now, you will notice that your emotions remain steady. There will be no confusion, no emotional swings, no need for reassurance. This calm is not indifference. It is security. And security is the language of something real. As the bond deepens, you may begin to sense their thoughts even before words are spoken. Not in a mystical way, but through alignment. You will anticipate reactions, understand pauses, and feel meaning behind simple gestures. This is the result of two lives moving in the same direction, not colliding by chance. The secrecy around this phase allows this understanding to form without distortion. When no one is watching, truth has space to reveal itself. This is where trust is built. Not through promises, but through consistency. Not through declarations, but through presence. There will also be moments of reflection where you recognize how much you have changed. Situations that once drained you no longer hold power. Patterns that once repeated have quietly dissolved. This is not because you forced growth. It happened because you were preparing, even when you did not realize it. Your soulmate will notice this strength immediately. It will make them feel safe. And in return, their steadiness will reinforce yours. This is how balance forms naturally. Two people standing strong, choosing each other without pressure. Understand this clearly now. What you are experiencing is not temporary closeness. It is the early structure of permanence. But permanence does not rush. It observes. It confirms. It builds slowly so it does not need to rebuild later. The universe is giving both of you time to witness each other without illusion. To see flaws without fear. To recognize depth without expectation. This is the stage where many connections fail, because patience is mistaken for lack of intensity. Do not make that mistake. Intensity fades. Stability remains. As you move forward, trust what feels grounded, not what feels loud. Trust what brings peace, not what creates urgency. Your soulmate is not pulling you toward them. They are walking beside you, step by step, matching your pace. This is the final confirmation you need. You are no longer waiting for something to happen. It is already happening. Quietly. Intentionally. And when the time comes to let the world see what has been forming in silence, it will feel natural, effortless, and undeniably right. There will come a moment when you realize that secrecy no longer feels like hiding. It feels like respect. Respect for the connection, for its depth, and for the timing that shaped it. By now, your awareness has sharpened enough to sense truth without questioning it. You no longer need signs. You no longer seek confirmation. The connection speaks through consistency, through calm presence, and through the way your inner world has settled. This is the stage where certainty replaces curiosity. And certainty, when it arrives quietly, is impossible to shake. At this point, your soulmate's role in your life becomes clearer without discussion. They do not distract you from your purpose. They support it. They do not demand your attention. They enhance your focus. When challenges arise, you will notice something different. Instead of emotional turbulence, there is cooperation. Instead of fear, there is strategy. This is how aligned connections operate. They simplify life rather than complicate it. That is why this bond feels less dramatic than past experiences, yet infinitely more powerful. Drama consumes energy. Alignment multiplies it. You may also notice that your intuition has become stronger since this connection began to form. Decisions feel easier. Boundaries feel natural. You no longer explain yourself to be understood. This clarity is not accidental. It is the byproduct of being seen without effort. When someone recognizes you without requiring performance, your nervous system learns safety. And from safety, confidence grows. This is the hidden gift of a true soulmate. They do not change who you are. They allow you to be who you already became. The world around you will continue as usual, unaware of what is solidifying beneath the surface. That is perfectly fine. Not every transformation needs an audience. In fact, the most powerful ones happen quietly. The secrecy that once felt necessary will now feel optional. You will sense when to speak and when to remain silent. This discernment is crucial. It ensures that when you do share, you do so from strength, not from excitement or doubt. Timing is no longer something you worry about. It is something you